So guys, I'm at Mace.
Yeah, hello guys. This is your host, Modestesi, as always, and I have a special guest today. He's a friend that's going to help me make my first podcast. Introduce yourself.
A friend might be too strong word, but I'm just another YouTuber.
Why not?
And
Yeah, that's kind of the idea. A friend YouTuber.
yeah, so I just make gaming videos and stuff, various stuff, but gaming mostly, I guess. So, I guess nowadays there are quite.
You wanna
Huh?
you wanna plug in any of your social medias, like anything you have, so they can contact you?
I will. I'll maybe just go to the description and find links there, and maybe somewhere on the screen you will see.
Yeah, speaking of just. Okay, looks like the introductions are out of the way, so should we start this podcast?
So yeah, I guess there are quite a few hot topics you could say. I guess you could say going around the internet.
Yeah, why don't you start with one?
Well, I guess among the hottest ones there is this Logan Paul thing going on, and
Oh yeah, that.
some people are so eager to jump on it and yell their heart out, but
Basically, money.
uh, it's about money, it's about fame, it's about quite a few things, and I don't think that many of them are.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah, it's because it's too easy.
that many people,
Yeah, continue with your one.
some people just miss the main point of all the criticism, because some.
Yeah, the main point.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I kind of lost train of thought, so you go ahead first.
Well, I think that one of the most important parts of the thing that he did, I'm talking about the recording of the dead corpse.
Apology?
Probably dead corpse.
Oh, yeah, that. I mean, it's a suicide forest. So.
What?
I mean, he was in a suicide forest. There has to be corpses. I mean, why would you call it a suicide forest if there's not people, killing themselves?
Yeah, well, that is one of the points that some people did like. What else did you expect? They don't call it suicide forest
Yeah,
because there are swimsuits on the ground.
He reminds me of that kind of person who has gotten famous all of a sudden, and because of that, he's gotten a bit arrogant. Like not caring and too carefree. So I'm pretty sure that's the reason why he didn't expect a corpse to be in the video. You know what I mean? Like when he showed up, even though he knew it was a suicide forest, I didn't think that something would show up. So he just strolled around until he immediately saw a corpse. You get what I mean?
But to me, it's quite sad that all this happened, because when I watched both Logan Paul brothers on Vines, I actually think that their content was good, amusing, funny, and somehow they went on to YouTube.
Yeah, me too. I actually used to watch them.
And
Yeah, continue.
no, I just want to add that this all happened, and just like, was it like this all the time, or was it just like something snapped? And because it's like the moment those Viners.
They changed the way they make videos or something?
What?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say. It's like the moment they switched, they became different people, and all of a sudden their content changed completely. Like, that's what you mean?
Yes, because I mean, I guess they were kind of forced to, because 6 seconds, and now the recent change from YouTube to 10 minutes is also a huge factor in it.
Yeah, they have to adapt.
That is like a 6 minute comedy or content is quite different from 10 minute content. And the problem is
Yeah.
they are simply supposed to be, I guess, on Vine and making their 6 seconds thing. Because some gags are simply not funny when.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, but with Logan, it's just like
Yeah.
they found
They're
probably.
used to making short videos.
Yeah, because when you watch King Badge, quite a few of these Viners, then I think that you will find at least some of their Vines funny or somehow relatable or whatever. And
Yeah.
suddenly,
In fact, just about every single one was funny.
I mean, I'm not talking about their characters right now. That goes out the window right now. I'm just talking about
The personalities and characteristics.
it's just like
We're talking about their personalities.
I'm not talking about the personality. I'm just talking right now about their content. Like
Yeah.
they made funny content, or at least some of them, and not always, of course, but sometimes. I mean, Picas, for example, I don't
Yeah.
think he ever really made good content. I mean, sometimes he might have hit it, but I think that no. Jerry Putbrand was a good viner,
More often than not, he didn't work.
probably like. And it's just this stuff like. Just go to the Vine. Vine 2 is actually around the corner apparently, or not around the corner, but in works. So I hope that it will change. Because YouTube and you Vine,
Yeah.
although it's pretty much the same content, it's very different.
Yes, it's very different in concept. Like they have the same thing of just making videos, but the way they make it is very unique and different.
It's like, yeah.
Plus, I'm pretty sad for Logan Paul, all the backlash he had just by making that. I mean, it was his fault for like filming in a suicide forest and filming the corpse, even though he could have taken that out of the video. But the thing is, it's like it wasn't really his fault because he didn't think about the consequences, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, this is one of the things that it's not like. The thing here is that when you are in this kind of situation, then you can literally just get a brain malfunction or something and do the thing that you would never expect yourself to do.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I'm pretty sure the video would have been a completely different story if it was a live stream. Like he was live streaming, going to a haunted place, like haunted house, and accidentally saw a corpse. That would have changed everything. But you know what I mean? Like the whole reason everyone hates him for showing the corpse is because he could have taken it out of the video, but decided to put it up anyway. You know what I mean?
some of the people said that he was laughing at the corpse. I don't really think that he laughed specifically at the corpse because laughing in that situation is quite natural defense mechanism.
Yeah, I understand. Like trying to make good of the possible situation
No,
and
it's
not
just
making
like
it even worse.
it's just like this. What the will am I supposed to do right now? Like it just when you, for example, when you hear someone say something really stupid, you just start to laugh.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like trying to make fun of the situation to lighten the mood, basically.
Like
Because
when someone says something screwed up, like let's kill all the kids, then you're just like, dude, what?
yeah, it makes no sense and it's like out of nowhere, like a curveball.
Yeah, but Logan, in my opinion, the worst thing that Logan did is that he didn't really seem all that sincere about the apology, and he didn't really seem like he actually gave a shit.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I said he didn't think about the consequences. Because he's that kind of person who has been on YouTube for such a long time that he just makes content. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have to think about it too much because he already has a fan base that will watch just about anything he makes. You know what I mean? Like the vloggers. He doesn't have to have a specific situation. He just vlogs about it and posts it. So when this all of a sudden gave him all of this backlash out of nowhere, he didn't exactly think he's gonna like go somewhere like, I don't know, to a church and like pray and say sorry. Instead, he just apologized and left because for him it's not that big of a deal.
And and some people said that in the first apology where he mentioned that he makes so much vlogs. I mean, I kind of get his point. I'm not excusing it. I'm not saying that yeah, you're all good, man. It's fine. But I can see how making, or at least being pushed to, well, he pushed himself, let's say that way. He made a choice of making so much vlogs, but he got into a cycle where he pretty much lost some things that he shouldn't have lost.
Yeah, lost like his common sense and actual care and video quality. That's what I think is the reason he just posted it and, didn't really care about the apology that much.
I think he fell into a cycle from which he, if he wants to, will really
He could
struggle hard
escape.
to get out.
Yeah, he could escape, but it's like the kind of thing that's too difficult with little payoff for them, I guess.
Because when I saw actually the Greg video where he, I guess his father, said
Yeah?
that they are a family and no matter what they will hold together and stuff like that, to me it kinda seems like he kinda motivates Logan to do this.
Yeah, it's,
To the point of pushing, like, Logan, go ahead, we will love you, our affections will not change, it's all good. It, unless there is someone in his life who gives him this reality check, like, Logan, don't do this. But instead of just, it's fine, go ahead, nothing will change. Logan is a 22, I think, years old guy. He's
yeah. He should be making decisions for himself, not just his parents. Just like, okay, go with it. Like you're an adult, just do whatever you want.
that too, but also that he is still not like a 40-year-old guy.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Like
I
he's
think
still technically just trying to figure things out. Like he's not at that age where he already has everything figured out, but not like a little kid who doesn't know any better. He's in the middle ground.
I think he's quite significantly influenced by his family, or at least his father. Greg is his father, I guess.
Yeah.
Not sure. His mother didn't seem to be as amused with the content he showed her, but his father is like, yeah, man.
Yeah, because one's disappointed in the kind of content and one's proud because he's making something out of that content. You know what I mean?
I mean, in no way am I excusing Logan. In no way I'm saying that what he did is perfectly fine. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
it's not really perfectly fine. We understand. We understand.
I'm just saying that he might be doing things that he himself isn't exactly
A fan of?
he does.
Yeah. Like doing stuff before thinking about it. Like just flying off the seat of his pants, basically. Just it's like he's live streaming this kind of stuff.
Because he went in front of the corpse. Nothing bad about it, I think. Well, he went over the trail of the official train. I mean, he wasn't apparently supposed to, as told by the Asian guy. But there is something that when you find a dead guy, you stop recording it just immediately.
Yeah.
And you don't put it
Or
on
at the
camera.
very least, if you're gonna record a dead guy, either cut it out when you finish the video or tell people that this is a bad thing. Like you don't just go to a suicide forest, record it, and say it's fine. You know what I mean?
When he was already in the what the fuck moment, then I kind of understand why he would lose all this reason why he actually went there in the first place. He was just brain malfunctioning. But when you go and look for the dead guy, look for the dead guy. I mean, that's pretty much what he did. He looked for a dead guy.
Yeah, just goes exploring like a Scooby-Doo gang.
Yeah, like not Amazon Forest or I don't know whatever place. No, Suicide Forest. Like the best place possible when you go on a vacation with your kids, and he has a channel focused on kids. No, that is the best destination for content to go
Yeah.
for. Like, like I really wonder what he would react like when he just saw the guy actually being in the process of committing suicide.
He probably would have like cared more, but not stopped it. You know what I mean? Like he wouldn't have done the same thing that most people would have thought he would, like immediately stop, say no, you have so much to live for. Instead, he probably would have said no, and then that person said no, I'm going to do it. He probably would have said okay, go ahead. You know what I mean?
I some people say that he is a sociopath.
Not
I
really. Not
I
really.
wouldn't go as far. I mean,
It's not that level of sociopath because if he was, he would have never cared for anything. He wouldn't have even
but
apologized.
he first of all, I don't think would have had such a reaction
Yeah,
because there is something in him that triggered that reaction. Empathy or disrespect, non disregarding all of that. I think he
it's
wouldn't have such a
probably the
reaction.
realization, like the reason he left is probably the realization that he caught it on camera. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I'm still gonna say that he should have turned off the camera. Everyone around him should have said that turn off the camera. God damn it!
And you know the worst part about all of this? Do you know it?
Tell me.
Is that this instead of being a bad thing and people stopped going to his channel, instead all it did was maybe make a little bit less views for him for one day, and then all of the viewers actually doubled the next day. You know what I mean? Instead of losing people or people being betrayed, they actually just got more views and more popular because he was literally on the news. This
And
video came out less than 24 hours in 2018. Like the first day, he's already on the news.
yeah, and
And
trending
even
doesn't didn't
worse,
really help.
yeah, and even worse, all that video did was get a bunch of negative thoughts and ideas and make a bunch of new YouTubers do, contents where they just rant about the current situation. It's relevant, but all it does is just make people angry and talk about mean things and just, basically hate each other to make millions of views.
I'm
You good?
good. I'm fine. Uh, it just that I think this is what fanaticism looks like and fanboyism. Then we'll just try to look at everything like it's all good. I mean, it's like when you don't want to see the game, the franchise you like so much, getting in a shit direction. Like, for example, let's take Assassin's Creed. I
Yeah,
mean, I can see why you like the franchise. I want the franchise to succeed constantly all the time. But when I played Assassin's Creed Origins, it's like
that's cool.
this game is not Assassin's Creed game.
It's not Assassin's Creed anymore.
It's it might have been at least decent if it wasn't an Assassin's Creed game, but since it is, I think it should be judged in the context, not just a standalone game.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Like
That's a lot of that reasoning is because of the company itself that makes the games, plus the pressure that the company is on. It's that kind of company where it kind of dug its own grave, you know what I mean? By promising or just by making it so that they always make Assassin's Creed games once a year, that's what happens to the third one. You saw how bad that one is. You see, they started making it once a year, every year, to the point where they couldn't think or have enough time to make a good game. Instead, they just post one every year. That's the kind of pressure that people are on when they make this kind of stuff.
I don't think that Assassin's Creed 3 was a bad game.
Wait, I might have gotten the name wrong. It wasn't the third one, I think. It was one that was really bad. I think it was Unity or something.
Yes, Unity was fucked up, man. Like, damn.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I was referring to, not three. Sorry about that. You see, I never played any of the games. Maybe the first one, don't have a console, but you know what I mean.
Unity was at its launch terrible.
Yes, because they kept pressuring them to make a game every year instead of actually focusing on making the game good. You know what I mean?
I think Black Flag also had kind of this problem of stepping out of the franchise, but at least it was made much better than in Origins. In Origins, you're no longer an assassin, you're a warrior.
That's cool. I never played it, but I want to.
Well, it's not cool because Assassin's Creed is about us being assassin, not being a warrior.
Well, I mean, as long as you're sneaky about your killing, then you're an assassin.
Well, this is where the funny part comes from. You have
What?
levels on enemies, and you cannot just one hit with hidden blade anymore. If
You
the
can't just one hit them?
no,
But what's the point of killing or assassinating if they know you're there?
that is why I said that Assassin's Creed Origins is not an Assassin's Creed game, because if the enemy has a higher level than you, you can, even if you use a bow and shoot him in the head, like without any gear and
Yeah.
from short distance, he doesn't die if he's high level.
Yeah, that realistic video game logic where as long as he has higher HP, you cannot kill him no matter what you do.
Like with Dark Souls, it's fun because the game is based around that, and you're
Yeah,
not
it's meant to be difficult.
and you're not fighting necessarily humans, but mutants of all kinds.
Yeah, the ones that don't have to make sense with their,
Yeah.
attacks or the way you kill them because you just stab it until it stops moving.
Yeah, but Assassin's Creed has always been revolving and being this more realistic than unrealistic game with some mysticism to it and some magic to it. But overall, it was mostly like a really realistic game.
I have a question for you.
Hmm?
How's the story?
I didn't play that much because I honestly don't want to play the game ever again. I tried it like for up to 2 hours to try these things, but I heard and read that the story is incredibly bland.
Okay, so they put up with that copy paste technique where they just copy a story and paste it all over again
Look,
without making anything original. It's just cliche.
might be the case, but with the addition of making it completely boring.
So basically the same thing, except you're even more bored than you were before.
Probably.
Yeah, that's the difference because for people who play a lot of games, they find it bland after a while. But for me, considering I haven't played any games, I probably will find it enjoyable at the very least.
Yes, that's the problem. That's the thing that some companies are relying on. Some gamers just don't see the difference anymore. But
Yeah.
kind of got off topic.
Well, technically, you said it yourself when we were doing some practice rounds. You just talk. You don't necessarily need that good of a subject. So yeah.
We went off topic from Logan Paul completely, pretty much.
But well, for me, I said all I have to say. If you have anything extra, go right ahead. I can't stop you.
Well, I'm probably just gonna say something more about Logan Paul. Like what he did lacks pretty much any kind of decency. He didn't really show like he cared about the situation too much. He, what he did might have and likely will have some long-lasting effects on the people who watch it, because for a child to see that much detail can be really traumatizing.
Yeah, I
Because he
understand
literally
exactly what you
showed
mean.
the dead guys. He pretty much showed everything aside from his head. Like
Yeah.
he blurred out the pretty much unimportant part, like clothing, but he didn't blur out like his purple hands.
Yeah.
And then he stayed around when was all obnoxious and stuff, and It's just like it's bad. It's bad. That's the end point. It's bad. You should never ever do this.
Yeah, and he didn't even give them any warning or post any like pop-up saying this isn't safe for kids
He
or
posted it
none of
into
that.
the thumbnail, man.
What?
He
He
put
posted.
the picture of the dead man in the thumbnail.
Well, at the very least, when you put a picture in the thumbnail, say it's not safe for kids anywhere, or at least say it's a dead body, you should not look at this.
Well, he wrote that we found a dead body, but you know, clickbait is not really uncommon on YouTube, so they probably didn't even expect that. But
Yeah,
he did put it in the thumbnail.
yeah, that's true.
Well, and it just said now in the latest video he just shows how much he cared. And in case some people who watched this didn't get it, that was just sarcasm. He doesn't seem to be giving a shit about that situation at all.
Yeah, he's only gonna dig his own grave if he stays like that. The best thing for him to do is make like a live stream where he apologizes again and then contacts, the people that are watching him to see their opinion. You know what I mean?
No,
Because
he should get the fuck off of YouTube for some time and try to actually help someone without any kind of this attention. Just go and help someone.
yeah, that too. It's just that I don't think he's gonna do that because people don't really just go off YouTube for a while I would love it if he left off YouTube for at least a week or two, go help someone else like you said, or maybe do some sort of like campaign against suicide forests or something like that. Something to redeem himself a little bit with. But instead, he's probably just gonna come back and make more vlogs like 5 days after this stuff showed up.
One of the worst things that he did is that he made fun of those who criticized him.
I didn't hear you. What?
He made fun of those people who criticized him.
Yeah.
But I guess that's all for Logan Paul that needs to be said there anymore. Just don't do the stuff that he did.
Yeah, just not do it again, and hopefully this stuff will just pass by after like maybe a couple months.
Don't do it ever.
Yeah, don't do it again ever. And hopefully this stuff like this controversy and this all hate comments and talk about this kind of concept will pass by after a couple of months. Maybe.
Well, I guess we can return to those games a little bit, or at least completely.
Okay, you said everything you wanted about this topic that you like so much?
Yeah, I guess so.
Alright, it's all good. Okay, now which one do you want to talk about?
Well, I think we haven't really said all that much about the gaming.
Well, I mean, what kind of controversy do you want to talk about?
It's not really a controversy that I want to talk about, but it's more of the practices that I would talk about.
Yeah.
Like, for example, microtransactions received such a bad name because of EA and Activision and Warner Bros. That it seems like microtransactions themselves are not the way they are being used.
Yeah, I understand.
Because a microtransaction is like when you go to a grocery store and you just pick up the things that you want to buy and you buy them instead of buying them in a bundle for a price that includes maybe even half of the things that you don't even want, but you have to pay for them anyways to get to the point, to get to the things that you want.
Yeah, it's like card packs for like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon. You want a specific thing, but you have to buy like 55 sets for like $300 just to get that one thing you want.
Yeah, microtransactions are great. I want DLC packs to vanish from the gaming industry and be replaced by microtransactions. But I definitely don't want them to offer game-altering things like stronger weapons and simply making the game pay to win.
Yeah, there's one game. There's one game that has that to such an extent that it's practically broken. Do you know which one it is? It's For Honor.
For Honor? Really?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I guess it does.
yeah. The loot in that game is so broken. One time because of the glitches and they don't have dedicated servers to
They
the
do now.
Oh, sorry about that. You see, I haven't played the games yet, but I know a little bit about them. So take what I say with a grain of salt. You know what I mean?
The last time I played For Honor, it actually looked good, really good. I didn't have really server problems, or at least
Well,
not too
that's good.
many. But the game has really huge balancing issues. But I read that they have been working on it, or at least are working on it. So I hope that it will improve. But if the game manages to become balanced and good, then I think it has a really big potential of being very
Yeah,
popular.
I think the best way for them to fix the broken weaponry, well, at very least one of the ways, is to make a group within the clan. You know what I mean? Like a specific group based on your level. You know what I mean? Because basically, it's not necessarily pay to win, but when you get to a high enough level, just like you said in Assassin's Creed, uh, practically the weapons you have can either one shot everybody or just break the game, like making it win on your first 5 minutes of playing the game.
Yeah.
So either one of two ways, either make sure those are downgraded or actually just keep them the same way so that we don't have to fix everything, but make it so that the people who have those broken weapons fight other people with the same broken weapons. You know what I mean? Like, because even though they have weapons that kill you in one hit, they do have armor that doubles your health. You know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. Balance it out with each other by making equally players fight each other, and noobs like me who haven't played the game yet alone in a different server. You know what I mean?
I think what they could do, or at least the way they could do it, is make it level limited. So if you have a certain level, you can buy anything you want when it comes to weapons and equipment, but it would immediately throw that player into on the level that other players who did it or achieved it through proper playing, and put them into matches with them instead of with those who just new to the game, and just immediately just make a system that, like, let's say that you just came into the game and this guy purchased it all, but he's also new to the game, but he bought it, so he will go and fight those experienced players.
Yeah, make sure that the stuff you buy are either level based or server based. What I mean by that is that way, even though, because like I said, microtransactions, some people who are just starting the game already have like $60 to spend on as soon as they log in, so that way they already have the best weaponry in the game immediately. Either make those players fight equal players, like in a different place, or at least make it so that they have to play enough matches to earn, the full power of those weapons. So that way you don't have a guy with literal one-shot weaponry fight a guy who just started learning how to play. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Stuff like that, because that happens in a game called Clash of Clans, or Total Royale, where you literally have level 60 guys fight level 1 guys just because they all play on the same server. People who are already experienced versus people who don't even know how to play properly. Also, they should fix the ledge mechanic.
The ledge mechanic.
I'm not sure if I said that right. The thing where you push a player off a building and they die in one hit.
Well, depends on when you fall from a fortress wall, then I think that it is fair to die.
I mean, yeah, die, but at the very least have like some sort of armor that only hurts that fall. Like if you fall, you only hurt your armor rather than die in one hit. Because some people just guard break endlessly and then just grapple you and throw you, like kill you in one hit without even a fight.
But when it's like when where you fall
Yeah.
is actually part of the arena where you fight, and it's not that far down, you don't die immediately.
Well, that's good. I guess they fixed it. I was just because remember, I never played the game, so I can't test any of the stuff I talk about. I only have a couple notes here about the game that were like maybe a month or 2 weeks old.
Mm.
So yeah.
I mean,
Do
the
you have
game
any other games
mechanics
you'd like to
for
talk about?
overall the gameplay is fine. It's just the balance stuff really can be bad for people.
Yeah, but that's with any game basically. They just have to fine tune it.
Uh, and there's this other thing that I don't know how to properly transition into this theme, but it's like one of the biggest, I guess, problems you could say in the gaming industry, and that's piracy.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
So some people seem to think that it's theft. It's not theft. Piracy is not theft
No, it's not. It's actually not.
because
In,
theft is
in
classified.
fact, can I say something? In fact, because of this whole net neutrality thing,
Yeah.
and them taking down all of the websites that give you free stuff like this, like a free TV show, watch all the episodes without having to buy cable or go to Crunchyroll every single month. Piracy has gone up like 3 times as much as it used to now. So instead of actually fixing it, you just made it more apparent.
But that's the same when you look at the lack of demos.
Yeah, that's true.
But theft is taking the original thing and using that, so you cause loss to the original rightful owner. But when you pirate, you just use the copy, and there are millions of copies made. There is no loss on any end, and you don't know if the guy who used the pirated copy actually would buy it anyway. So you cannot
Yeah,
really
it's
talk about loss if you don't know if there would be any in the first place.
I mean, it's like I told you earlier when we were doing practice. You just copy the file and post it somewhere else. It's not really stealing. In fact, it's the same as copying a URL and just giving it out to your friends. It just goes to the same place.
I mean, it's more of a right infringement, copyright infringement. That is it,
Yeah.
definitely. But I'm not saying it's good. None of them are good. But piracy is definitely less harmful than piracy is less harmful than theft.
Yeah, that's true.
But also, why people pirate? And first of all, well, the lack of demos. Like when you expect someone to buy something but don't give him the opportunity.
Yeah, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What happened to beta testing? Like, remember when they used to make games and literally just give you a beta test?
I don't honestly know what happened to them.
Yeah, they just stopped making that. Instead, either have you pay half the price for just, well, mind my language, a crappier version of the game, or not work. And also, one of the worst things that they do right now, and when they deleted beta testing, is that they lie about it. Because what I mean is that because people, like, rather than beta test, you just test the game for free, you have to pay to even test the game.
Yeah.
A lot of people do this thing where they give you a section of the game to play, right? They make it 60 frames per second, 4K graphics, and when the game actually comes out, it's like less than 10% frames per second and like at 1080p quality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the quality goes down so far that most people who gave it like 10 out of 10 now give it 1 out of 10. And that's what the problem with it. And you know why they do that? It's because you pay. They want to make sure you're happy with the thing you pay for, because testing the game. So they make it look as clean as possible. So that way it's not like you pay $20 to test something that's broken and doesn't even look good. You know what I mean?
Well, beta tests are just pure bullshit because either they are just conditioned by redeeming codes that you get from pre-ordering, or it's just straight up randomness. Like no basis, just random people get the code, and there are closed beta tests that have up to 2,000 participants. Like how trustworthy is that?
Yeah.
It is common. People, it's just like known that some reviewers are bought.
Yeah, like GameStop and stuff like that. They buy their reviews. Is because people trust what they say and have like 2 million people that follow GameStop wherever it goes. So that if that guy says 10 out of 10, 2 million people are going to buy the game immediately.
Well, and you know, it's,
This is the problem with EA and why they never really seem to care what kind of games they make.
and
Because
Activision.
no matter, yeah, and Activision, let's remember that. No matter what, at the very least, they're at least that 2, 3 million that always give them their money back no matter what. Hell, even worse. You know why? Because those people that are suckered in don't just buy the game. They buy the platinum, golden, ultimate edition for like $100 more. They pre-order it and then buy all the DLC afterwards. It's like not even a week since the game came out. And they already spent like $300.
You know, I'm I just I decided that I won't even like go ahead, do that, man. There are hopefully it won't get to those to all games, but there are games that you can enjoy without paying a dime on top of the initial price.
Yeah, it's called those video games on Steam, those indie games. Those are pretty good.
For example, when, and this classic argument that the game developing costs have risen, dude. Go
Yeah,
say
because
that about Naughty Dog.
have you seen 4K, my nigga? The game graphics are so high that you literally have to pay $3 trillion just to make the game look that good. And here's the problem with that. Back in the old days of 8-bit, 16-bit, games didn't take that much to make because they don't have to make that much money for graphics. But now that the graphics are at that level and that became the standard, you either make the game look that good and spend that much money on it, or just make it 8-bit. In fact, that's the funny part. Games nowadays are either two kinds, either retro games like 8-bit, 16-bit, like those Nintendo graphics, or are normal PS3, PS4 graphics that cost you 3 million to make and like 20 years to develop with the company.
I think that some people simply are missing the fact when comparing like and expecting the same graphics from let's say I don't know
Horizon Zero Dawn?
uh, no, for example like Assassin's Creed or something, or I don't know, other game, every game graphics as good as from Uncharted, but they are missing the fact that Uncharted is a linear game.
Yeah,
There isn't so many. They can pre-render things, and the
yeah, I
computer
understand.
simply knows throughout the entire game what it's gonna pretty much load, so it can load many of it beforehand. But with games like The Witcher, the game doesn't know where you're gonna go, how fast you're gonna go there, so it has to constantly load it up. So the more graphic uh, demand there is, the worse it's gonna be.
Yeah, there's one game that actually does this the correct way, which is Zelda Breath of the Wild.
I think Witcher 3 does it well as well.
Yeah, because the reason for that is because when they made the game, they make sure to make the entire map all at once, so that way when you log into the game, it immediately downloads the entire map. All well, it takes a little while when you upload, like when you start gaming, but the reason for that is because it uploads the entire map all at once, so that way you can still go anywhere without it having to stop you and then download the map that you're going to. You know what I mean?
Yes, I mean it would be much better if there was like a 10-minute long load and minute loadings throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
But yeah, the graph, this 3K, 4K, I mean, it's just that's just absurd.
Yeah, and the problem with it isn't the graphics, it's the standard. This thing became so popular that now video game companies have to make it at the very least HD. Like, if you make it lower than that, everyone's going to compare you to Uncharted, the new God of War. Horizon Zero Dawn. The games that look just as pretty. You know what I mean?
Say to every company, so what? Do the game, and if someone will be like, okay, but it doesn't have such a big resolution, shut up and play it, and if you don't enjoy it, don't play it.
Yeah, and again, here's the stupid part about this. The gaming companies, the reason they're like mean sometimes with the kind of stuff they make is because they can't make everyone happy. If you make the graphics good and like spend $1 million on it, you're not gonna have as much time to make like the controls to play the game correctly, so it's gonna start glitching. But if you could only focus on the glitching, like let's say a Mario game where it renders smoothly, perfect gameplay, no glitches, but looks bad, some people are gonna say this game plays good but doesn't look as good as I want. You know what I mean? Like you can't please them. Either have this or have this. So yeah.
Well, I think it's better if the game is looking badly but plays well than.
Yeah, that's true because that's the stupid part about it. We play games for fun and for the controls. That's why people love like Super Mario 64. It doesn't have to look good. We have to just know how to play it. So many games these days focus so much on the look that the gameplay is either broken or isn't even finished. And for most of the part, it's not even the company's fault because to make graphics this good, it takes you like 6 months to download a game with that much graphics.
But the funny thing is that some people praise Bloodborne or Dark Souls. That game doesn't even have that good graphics.
Because it doesn't need to. It's because the main reason you play Dark Souls is to fight monsters. And how do you fight them? By having a beauty contest? No, by fighting with mechanics, video game mechanics. So, and of course, the controls are going to be what's more important. Especially for a game that's brutally difficult. You know how those games where you glitch or the controls don't work the way you want them to, and you get even more pissed than you were before? If that was the case with Dark Souls, people will practically never play the game. So it had to focus on gameplay rather than graphics. You got tired?
No, I'm just. What to talk about next?
Yeah, I talk too much. Sorry about that.
Yeah, there is. I think some companies just be simply like, okay, this is how we're gonna make it, like it or not. It's because a game that would have graphics of the latest Uncharted and the world of The Witcher 3, that would take them to develop like up to 10 years maybe.
Yeah.
Like look at games that are really properly made and really offer a lot of stuff. Those games don't come out each year.
Yeah, they take a long time to make.
Like Red Dead Redemption 2. How long is it since the first game? It's like maybe over 5 years now.
Yeah, and look at Shadow of the Colossus, the HD remake. Just to make the game HD, it took them so many damn years.
But the game Shadow of the Colossus is probably one of the best examples of how a game can have not amazing graphics, but the gameplay can be so revolutionary.
Yeah, that's why they made an HD remake. Instead of, making gameplay different, they just wanted to make it look good because the gameplay was already perfect.
And for example, I don't know if you know the game Urban Reign.
Urban Reign? Sorry, don't know. But
yeah, that is one of the best fighting games that have ever been released. It's a PS2 game, and that game had such a great dynamics and game mechanics that you will hardly find anything even remotely good from in the games that are released today.
Like Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z, like the new game, Dragon Ball Z game?
I don't think I played that one, but you can watch some
trailers
and video, and I think it will be it will look good.
All right, give me the name of the game.
Uh, Urban Rain. There is also this game called Bloody Roar that received apparently a lot of negative feedback, but I think that that is another one of the best games that have ever been made. Fighting games.
Cool. You like fighting games.
I like good games.
I mainly like Assassin's Creed and hunting games.
Man, if Assassin's Creed, the one part of Assassin's Creed, one problem I have with it is that one part, some things that are just bad for any game, but some parts are just so absurd in a game for a game like this. Like, look at a video that I have on my channel. That
Okay.
is somewhere. There are. I think I made 3 videos about Assassin's Creed Origins. Maybe the one or second on which one I'm not sure is about shows it. But there is this eagle that they somehow made into a drone because you can literally look at the everything from the eagle's eyes and just go around, fly around, and pretty much tag your enemies and see who's defending and what he's defending, and just pretty much be. He's like a drone.
So they roboticized Eagle Vision? They made it a robot?
Pretty much.
How the hell did they do that? I mean, that kind of breaks the game's mold. All you have to do is climb a tower, and you already know everybody's location. I mean, that happened in earlier games, but you didn't know who was defending. You had to literally just sneak up on them.
You know what the funniest thing about it is?
What?
That they could have made it so much better, so much more realistic. Like, for example, you would go to your map, place a marker on the place where you'd like to go, and the eagle will go there and spin around above the spot. So that
the
you
area?
wouldn't have to constantly look at the map, and you would see him in the distance. That is where I'm gonna go when I want to go.
Then what's the point of having? It's like literally no point of having a map. The map is to show you where to go, but you have to go there yourself, not immediately teleport to it.
And when they wanted to make the eagle more involved, why not? Why not? When you tag someone yourself as Bayek, the game's protagonist, and simply call and send the eagle to distract him or to attack him, but instead he's just there like, okay, let's tag all of them, return to Bayek, and now he sees through walls, even without eagle vision, everyone you tag. Through walls, through everything.
And it's a robot bird. Why not just give it bullets? Like, just give it something to shoot at the target.
I don't know,
Like-
that's like...
Like, if you're literally 10 against 1, you can have the bird either distract them, throw a smoke bomb, because you know what happens when you get, like, pretty much 10 against 1. You can't exactly escape. Like, you can put extra smoke bombs on the bird just in case you mess up or you run out. So that way he can give you a quick escape. Or, I don't know, a rope. He can carry you. He's a metal bird. How big is this thing? It's like a small bird or a giant eagle?
This is a regular eagle.
So it's pretty huge. I'm pretty sure you can just ride it into battle.
That's this. I mean, I can imagine so many uses, nice uses, realistic uses for that eagle, and they went for that one. You cannot really even use him. You're just using him as a utility to look through.
What's the point of climbing walls? Like, the whole reason you climb a giant tower is so you can see a little bit of the area around you, and then you just sneak up on them through the roof. Now the bird can just tell you everything.
Any towers in the game?
Like, nothing you can climb?
Like guard towers, but like I said, from what I've seen, the game is incredibly bland.
Well, that explains why I only played 2 hours.
I mean, yeah, I was there like, okay, I'm not even 2 hours in the game and I don't want to play it anymore.
Yeah, I wasted like $60.
Me?
No, it's just that most games nowadays are $60, like a waste of money sometimes.
Yeah, but it's just like you know, but when you look
You're
at the game is just a mixture of rubbish because you have RPG in a certain part of the game and in other one you don't. Like you have better equipment, you have ranked enemies, but you don't have endurance for your equipment. Like,
what the hell? This is one of those moments where everyone who sees the game just face palms after 5 minutes of playing it. Like immediate face palm the entire time.
and
Why
but
can't these
some,
why can't
some
these people like can I say something?
yeah.
Why can't these people just do what, like I said, beta testing? Just have people either play a part of the game or at least give you feedback just by seeing a trailer. Like all they give you is a trailer and then the final game. Nothing in between to test out some bugs. No wonder everyone's disappointed.
And you know what the perhaps the worst thing about this is?
What?
Some people, it looks like many people really find the game really good.
Casuals?
I don't know who, I don't know if, I think that whoever likes the game never liked Assassin's Creed games, maybe besides Black Flag, so they are just like, okay, this is the game I want.
Basically, they just like the concept, not like the entire game as a series.
Looks like it. Or they have really low standards and they have low standards, or they are willingly ignoring all the bad stuff because they wanna like it, or all of that.
Yeah, probably all of it combined. There are casuals who only like the concept of Assassin's Creed and don't really care too much for the bad things because they probably already bought the game, so they just play it for fun.
Yeah.
Like all of those things combined.
You know, it's just like, and the animations in the game, like so out of place.
What, did they glitch up or something?
Uh, they look terrible. Like the dodging.
Wait, are they like Mass Effect Andromeda level of difficult and bad?
They are. I wouldn't say that they are necessarily bad. The dodging is incredibly absurd and bad. I mean, it looks like Bayek is pushed to the side and then he tries with his legs to catch up with his torso so that he doesn't fall.
Yeah.
It looked really much worse because it looked like he was completely just pulled and he just slid to that direction.
Yeah, like video game logic going through your enemy's sword.
And the fighting animations aren't bad, but they are not fitting for this game because they are. Imagine God of War. That is what the animations look like.
Yeah, just a bunch of blood and a mess of fighting.
I guess without so much blood, if any blood, but the how fast paced they are, how unrealistic it moves. It's just God of War. It's Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
It's a hack and slash game, and this is the irony because some people say that it's the most realistic game in the franchise yet. Where? That it has the best, most difficult, and most realistic fighting game mechanics yet. How? And that it's finally not a hack and slash game. How?
I think the reason these people think it's the best is because they either only played this one. Like for me, I only ever played Assassin's Creed 1 and a little bit of 2. Like if I play the game you're telling me, I might say the same thing they say because I haven't played any of the others. But here's the thing. It's either this is their first game, so they immediately love it, or they don't compare it whatsoever to any of the others. Like a standalone game, even though it's in a franchise. That's probably why they say it's good. is because they don't compare it to the other ones that do the thing they're supposed to do. Climb walls, sneak up on people, and kill them with one hit.
But the thing is that even reviewers, even when you watch videos, they don't review it as in comparison to other titles in the franchise, except for when they say like this is what it was like in the previous ones, and this is what it's like in right now.
Yeah, that's because
like right now.
Yeah, that's because you said it yourself. They get paid to say 10 out of 10.
I don't think that Ubisoft paid all of them. It's just like even
just most of them.
It's like, okay, this is how it is, and it's really revolutionary. It's something new. Yes, it is something new. It's definitely not revolutionary. I mean, those guards, those attackers do pretty much like 3 starting attacks, and then it's just the same thing over and over again. You dodge.
They just spam attacks.
You dodge and you slash them. It's a hack and slash game, purely and simple.
Then it's like, damn, I almost said retarded. It's like bad in the places it shouldn't be, and good in the places it shouldn't be. It's good. It's good at hack and slash, but that shouldn't be the concept, and bad at sneaking, which should be the concept. That's what I mean. It's like when it comes to sneaking around, you get a robot bird that fights for you, and then when it comes to fighting, he doesn't do anything. It's like it's backwards. It makes no damn sense. For a guy who's a robot bird supposed to back you up, he doesn't attack and sneaks around them like an assassin, but for you, the actual qualified assassin, end up just berserking through everything.
And but you can go into some kind of slow motion with the drone with the eagle drone, and just turn around, I guess, endlessly and scan everything, and it's still in the slow motion.
Yeah, that's why I facepalm right now. The bird is sneakier than the assassin.
And the assassinations, because of these levels, and I read it somewhere that it kind of lost point completely. It just always and most of the time fighting, and you even get into an arena where you're supposed to fight up front.
Yeah.
Like instead of an Assassin's Creed game when you would try to infiltrate and kill sneakily, assassinate Caesar or whoever you wanna assassinate, you go into an arena and fight gladiators.
Yeah, what is this, Gladiator?
Like,
oh my. And they literally just took the guy from God of War and put him in an Assassin's Creed game. What the hell?
They pretty much took, I don't know if you know the game Gladio something on PS2 and renamed it. The game looks pretty much like that.
Wow. Well, I'm disappointed.
Man, and another funny thing is that some people who said that what they didn't like in the previous titles, like going up front against enemies, and therefore essentially the game losing the assassination aspect, here it's praised.
I'm pretty sure those guys have gotten used to that so much that when the game changes, they're actually praising it without thinking it through.
And
because Ubisoft does do this stupid thing where they make the same game 100 times and only once every 10 years changes the kind of gameplay.
And there is this thing that allows you to shoot a ball, and then in midair you can control it. You can pretty much do pirouettes and aim it at yourself, back at yourself, so you have pretty much a boomerang. So unless you hit someone or something, you can get it back, but without actually getting it back.
Wow, damn! I'm just getting disappointed.
Not even Ghost Recon, I think, has it, but yeah, Bayek has it. Someone in the ancient Egypt, Cleopatra, who's the other guy? Caesar era, yeah, you will have remotely controlled arrows. And the excuse for it is also great. That there were allegedly, according to a myth or something, arrow whisperers that controlled the wind and were able to change the direction in which the arrow was flying in midair. Like, dude, that is one of the laziest things, laziest excuses you
Bro,
could have
what's
found.
the point? What's the point of bow and arrow? It's to take people out from long distances with good accuracy. If you just change the wind, then that takes all the difficulty out of it.
I thought
What the
that.
hell? You might as well. I'm surprised. I'm surprised the bird doesn't turn into the bow, like he doesn't transform into the bow, because that would be more logical for a metal object to fly midair.
I guess that.
What kind of ammo do you have? Like, do you have like pieces of wood that can pretty much airbend?
I guess I think that they should could have added actually also some give some voice to the eagle, like, okay, I see a target approaching or something.
Like a Siri, like have an AI inside the bird.
Yeah, something like that.
That would have been more fun. You could have had like a watch that
Yeah, I
tells
mean,
you
if make a
the bird's
ridiculous,
location. Yeah,
if,
this isn't ancient Rome, or but wait, this Assassin's Creed game is supposed to be the first of the like entire collection, right?
yeah, I guess.
Yet it takes place in the future, further from any of them.
It looks like it.
Because what the hell? The whole point of the what the hell was its name? The thing that gets you back to the past.
Animus.
Yeah, the Animus is to take you back to the past. But when you get to this one, you actually go to the future.
It actually
You
looks
have
like it.
robot birds with AIs and watches like you're from, I don't know, Mission Impossible. Wow, this just became, instead of a collab, just us talking about Assassin's Creed. Wow. Well, at least we had fun.
Yeah, the game certainly looks like a futuristic, ancient game.
Like, it would have made sense if it was like some sort of ancient technology found by the Egyptians and put underground for 10,000 years. But no, instead, it's just commonplace. Like, every person has this.
If they aimed, they could have, since they made a ridiculous game, they could have at least go with the ridiculousness and add as much as they could. So it would be really nice that way.
The thing I wish these people would do is that when they make a game like this and pretty much see all of this, like me and you talking about this much backlash, at the very least have a DLC for the bird. Like, have something that makes it better.
Yeah,
Have have some sort of AI. Seriously, I would pay $20 just to have that.
a
Like,
skin.
give the bird AI capabilities. Make him talk. Give me advice. I don't know. Give me a reason that a metal bird is in Egypt. A place that, by the way, I can go to because I am in kind of near the desert. But it's only sand in Egypt. Where the hell do you find a metal bird? Like, that's the funniest thing. And here's the thing. The whole point of a metal bird is that it can't touch water. But in Egypt, everything's made out of sand. If the bird skydives to the ground, it immediately stops working.
Well, it could be like a drop bomb.
At the very least, have some sort of DLC where you can upgrade the bird, like give it extra stuff. Why not?
Laser
I mean,
eyes.
look, I'm not a game developer. I know this stuff takes time and money, but it shouldn't be that difficult. It shouldn't be impossible to have a little menu where it just has names and options and money, where you just upgrade the bird. It's not that difficult. I mean, if they did it for Assassin's Creed 1, which by the way is like 2000, then they can do it for a game that's in 2018, 18 years later. What the hell?
Yeah,
Instead of getting better, they only get more retarded.
they could make a skin for the eagle where it like doesn't have wings or just partially, or even or
Or
maybe
looks
even
normal.
wings.
I mean, who in Egypt would find a metal bird in the sky?
Make
Like,
it like
that's
a
pretty weird.
helicopter. You know, like make a helicopter out of it, make a real drone out of it.
Yeah, either make it a drone that looks like it's supposed to be a drone, or have skin painting that makes it look like a bird. I mean, think about it. The whole point of that thing is that it's sneakier than you. It's supposed to sneak up on people, but if you go to Egypt, a place, by the way, that has nothing but desert, there's not a city, you know what I mean? Like, there's not buildings. If you just look up, you would pretty much see a metal bird 100% of the time. Like, that thing can't actually hide. You know what I mean?
And you know, you could like when Bayek will be somewhere, let's say on the wall, he could just like when you throw a smoke bomb and you see this arrow pointing, then you could
Yeah.
just point the eagle to go somewhere. He would distract the guard, and the guard maybe would turn around, and you would immediately be able to sneak kill or silent kill him.
Yeah, but you still need to kill him 3 times because apparently you can't kill him with one hit,
Yeah. Unless
which
he's the
defeats
same
the
level as you.
purpose. Huh?
Unless he's the same level as you, or maybe level 2.
What is this, Persona 5
And
with
you
the
know
level
this
system?
difficulty thing. I tried going against on hard difficulty against two guards on level 4 or 5, up to
Yeah.
5, and it wasn't hard.
Like you one shot everyone without really trying?
I mean, it would take quite some time to put down them, but I would do it without
Is
really. It wasn't difficult. It was just a matter of time.
Yeah. What about the loot system?
A loot system, well,
Like
microtransactions. Hello.
no, I mean not that. I meant like looting the corpses of the people you take out. Like what do you get out of that? Because the
You
more difficult, the better the equipment. I mean, come on. That has to be the case.
you pretty much get the same stuff that you got in the previous games.
So what's the point of taking out high level guards if they give you the same thing as level 1 guards? You might as well just, distract them with the metal bird and just run for it.
I'm not sure if you. I'm not sure. I don't know if you could loot anyone, but I didn't really even bother anymore with looting. I think it just sometimes when I used like an arrow or something, but I just first and you don't even know how much arrows ammunition you have because they removed the HUD.
Why?
I don't know.
Like that way you can't prepare for fights. I mean,
And
the whole point of assassination is that it takes time to kill your target with good management and pretty much a strategy, not just one shot it like God of War's Kratos.
but and you know it's like if I didn't get outnumbered like camel riding guards and arrow archers pretty much ending up like me ending up against like 6 5 up to 5 level guards,
Yeah,
then it wasn't a difficult fight.
yeah, it just takes time.
Like just if you just watch and dodge in the right time, you can get them easily.
Basically, just spam dodging and attacking. Just do a pattern and keep doing it until you win.
Yeah, dodge, attack, dodge, attack. That is what the game is about.
Wow, that's just not even good. I mean, assassination is supposed to be easy and takes time. Like the difficulty is at the preparation. But for you, you can not prepare and just spam attacks until half an hour later you beat everyone.
And
That
then
sounds like that sounds like needless padding. Like, why not just make the combat easier, more fun, but still take like 2 hours to do other things, like better things, rather than just run around and
the
make
thing
an
is,
upgrade
the
section for the
thing
bird.
is that some people say that counterattacking made the game easy. No, counterattacking didn't make the game easy. If you go in any fight ever, and there are people who actually, well, simply said, counterattacking is a very useful and common thing in fighting. It can decide whether who wins.
Yeah, it's a logical thing to do in fights.
The
What, you just
problem
attack
is
and wait? This isn't an RPG.
the problem is that the AI is still stupid, and that is what makes the fights easy. They still
Oh my
attack one by
god.
one pretty much.
They at least should make it smarter. I mean, for a game that involves strategy to take out your opponents, they should at least make them smart opponents. What about the bosses? Do you have any bosses that are at least smarter than normal AI?
Kinda doubt it.
And that's the stupid part. If you're gonna make AI for the enemies and make it stupid, you might as well just make AI for the bird. At least the bird can be stupid and make sense because it's a bird. It's not supposed to fight you. It's just supposed to do some air turtles, just move around the air, and then that's its job.
And about the fights, like when realistic, yes, it is very realistic. In a
That's good, at
fight, to
least.
constantly jump away, like up to 2 meters away from your target and back to them, and jump like up to go slide or jump whatever, run 2 meters around them just to dodge one single attack.
Wow, that sounds like a hit and run kind of tactic. That's not a fight.
Like
Like, seriously, that sounds like the kind of fight a coward would have. Hit you once, run so he doesn't get hit, wait like 5 minutes later, and then go back for another hit. No
well, the
wonder it
thing
takes you
is,
half an hour.
the thing is that if you did this, you would get tired so quickly.
Yeah, that's why it takes you half an hour. You might as well just give up. I'm pretty sure that's why you gave up 2 hours in the game. It takes you half an hour just to beat a guy, and that might as well just not be fun.
No, but also the fact that assassins were highly trained. They could literally kill three guards, highly trained guards, in under 5 seconds probably.
Yeah,
Here,
that's
you have to fight them for countless seconds, or at least it can take countless seconds. Like in Assassin's Creed before, you go, you hit them. Like what's the freaking point of a hidden blame when you don't instantly kill them? Like what is the point? What is the other point?
at the very least, give us a reason. Like, make it seem that the guy has armor, like, on his back or behind his neck,
Like
or maybe expects your attack, like some sort of guy who can sense people around his area, like a Nen training, where you can tell someone behind you even though you can't see them, like something like that to make it make sense.
And some people say that Syndicate had the worst fighting system. Syndicate has had one of the best fighting systems in the franchise.
What is its fighting system?
The AI actually didn't wait all the time so long that they actually went for you even when you were fighting someone else. And
Yeah, like I said, 10 against 1.
and well, 10 against 1. If there are 10 guards against you, they are going. If they went all at the same time at you, they would probably beat up each other anyways.
Yeah, probably. Because, 10 swords in one small area are probably gonna,
Like the
friendly
guy,
fire someone.
the guy they would want to beat up would just crouch, and they would just hack and slash each other.
So it's that stupid thing where everyone charges at once and all you have to do is just wait at the right moment and dodge? I mean, that makes sense, but that's only if they're stupid and attack you all at once.
Well, they don't always wait, but they still do wait quite a lot.
Oh my god, wow. You can fight better in real life than you can do in this kind of game. What the
And
hell?
yes, they do run. They maybe don't wait too that long until.
Yeah, because it'll be stupid to watch your friends die while you sit around and wait for your turn. Again, it's not an RPG.
This is the second part. They go to you, but they still don't attack you, even though you attack someone else.
So what? Are they like going back and forth to see, okay, should I jump him? Should I wait for my turn? Oh my god, that sword's right next to my face. What are they, like, hesitating whether or not to jump you?
It's like,
I mean, it's
like
10 against 1. Even if one of them gets stabbed, you at least kill the assassin.
they run to you, and they are like, okay, what to do now? What am I supposed to do?
You know what they should do? grab like a book, grab a pen, and start sketching what they're looking at, because that's what it looks like to me. They go to you for a better look, and then they just see what the hell's going on. My God, wow, this is just retarded
And
to the max.
it just, it
We've
just
been talking for 3 hours,
and
and we're just laughing. My God, this is amazing.
when you look at some videos, Bayek literally goes with a huge mace that is probably even taller than himself and just smashes enemies, like straight up smashes them. No assassination, no nothing. He just goes like a soldier and smashes them.
What? So he's like the Hulk of your team? He just wait, hold up. What happened to the team mechanic? Because I know that's in the like third or maybe fourth game where you can hire other assassins and train them yourself.
That was the Brotherhood, and I didn't see it in this game.
Damn it! I would have loved something like that. Or maybe each one of them would have had a bird of their own. That would have been amazing. Like an actual assassination squad, like they do in every Assassin's Creed trailer ever. They show you like 5 people in a team coordinated with each other and battling, but in the game it's only you. Like, what the hell, man? Give us an actual team.
And I wanted to wait. Damn it.
This video should be just called Logan Paul is not as bad as you might think, plus Assassin's Creed Roast. Like, this would be the title, because that's literally what we've been talking about for 2 hours.
Hey, Logan Paul might not be as bad as some people think, but he is still really terrible.
Yeah, but remember, when you make a video like this, you should point that out. Like, you said it like 3 times. You said he is bad, but not as bad as you might think. So I'm not sure that.
I would say that he did some things that some people misrepresented, but it still doesn't make him any better.
Yeah. I mean, no one's completely evil.
Well. No, I'm not sure about that, but I mean,
What?
psychopath can be pretty much pure evil.
Yes, that's true, but there's a reason for it. You know what I mean? Like, what I mean is that the people that watch the Logan Paul video and you see this kind of controversy immediately think of him as a psychopath or pure evil,
Because
even though what he is.
He presents himself in that way.
Yeah, but that's because he's a dumbass. What I mean, like, he's a dumbass, not a psychopath. You know what I mean? Like, he represents himself in a bad way, but that doesn't mean he's completely that way.
And I guess so. And what I wanted to
Hey,
say
this is just my opinion, so don't kill me for it.
about Assassin's Creed, that in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, when the enemies get to really low health, they start to get all dizzy, like they were affected. In Assassin's Creed Origins, nothing like this happens. They just die. They are just like they go like from full health to death. There is nothing in
What,
between.
Oh, I thought they committed seppuku.
Huh?
I thought they committed seppuku, like kill themselves.
No, I mean that you hack them to their head, whatever, whenever, however, but they don't show any sign of actually getting hurt.
Like any sign of injury, like any hesitation, any weakness, their speed drops, their attack drops a little bit.
You just see the life bar decreasing and then it's just boom, death.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. That's what I said. Like, instead of that being the case, you just see the life bar drop and they die. Like, make it realistic. I mean, if you're gonna make the look and combat realistic, make it at least realistic in an actual fight.
You know, and I don't know how what the proper transition would be, but I see, even with Assassin's Creed, I see one big problem in the gaming industry, and it's oversaturation. I think there are game concepts that have been, if not at all, that they have been only barely touched. Like for example, fantasy games like vampires, werewolves. I cannot remember really a properly properly made game about these kinds of creatures, like centaurs
Yeah.
and water creatures. You know, such a great cast. There was this game called Nosgoth that apparently was closed down due to some internal problems, like I don't know what, but it was like Left 4 Dead, but without instead of infected those mutants, it was with vampires against humans, and it was a really fun game. It was incredibly fun game.
Wait, what kind of vampires? The good kind or the Twilight kind?
Like the kind that you don't want to mess with.
Which ones is it? You don't want to mess with an actual vampire because they could kill you, but you also don't want to mess with the Twilight vampires because they're not that good.
Well, but
So which kind of horrifying are we talking?
when you look at the Twilight vampire, you wouldn't be like, okay, I don't want to fight him. But when you look at those vampires in the game, then you're like, okay, I don't want to fight him.
For different reasons.
For some reasons, let's say. You know, I don't know if you know the game Vampires: The Masquerade Bloodlines.
No, I don't know any vampire games. I only know the Castlevania series.
Try Vampires: The Masquerade Bloodlines. I think it's
Okay.
cheap.
Send me the name. Me the name. I'll look up every game you send me the name to right now.
Yeah, I will do it. I might forget. Vampire: The Masquerade.
Okay, you can do it whenever you want.
Vampire: The Masquerade.
Is it a PC game?
PC, yeah. Masquerade.
Yeah, and I just pirate the game to play it.
Oh well, I'm not gonna say which one you should do, okay? But
Well, to be honest, I don't really have a choice. What did you say?
The game studio that developed the game is apparently shut down already. But it's one of the best.
Well, at least they have a good game under their belt before it's going downhill.
Hell
Unlike
yeah.
4Kids.
Is
Okay, so we talked about Assassin's Creed for the last, how much? Yeah, 2 hours. So, do you want to talk about a different game for once?
I'm not talking about Assassin's Creed anymore. Right now I'm
Yeah, I'm
talking
talking
more
about
about
vampires.
game genres.
Okay, that's cool.
I
Just
mean,
wondering if you have any other cool games.
I think I can give you a few. I mean, Vampires: The Masquerade Bloodlines is a very good vampiristic game. You can choose from various vampires and have a lot of fun with them. But the
Okay, that sounds
game
kinda cool.
came out in 2005, I think. So, yeah. Punisher is an excellent game, and it's one of the best game movie adaptations ever, I'd say. Then there are games like Blood Rain. That is also one of the best vampiristic games that have ever come out.
You like vampires and assassins. That's a pretty good combo.
Uh, what is there other? Like Star Wars: The Force Unleashed 2 is one of great fantasy science fiction game, and one of the best.
Yeah, the latest Star Wars game kind of got me a bit disappointed in EA. Not surprised because it's EA, but yeah. Did you know the new Star Wars game?
The new Star Wars game, no, but I
Yeah, the one by
heard of
EA.
the latest movie and read something.
Yeah, I never actually watched a Star Wars movie, not a single one of them.
Well, I found out that it is worse than The Force Awakens, so that I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, I don't want to watch any Star Wars movie. Every time I try to watch one, they just say to me, "Look at the prequels, then look at the Force and stuff like that." So I just decided not to watch any of them.
In Star Wars: The Force Awakens, the Rey, the protagonist, was pretty much just a Mary, typical Mary Sue, like girl that just came in touch with the force, and suddenly her power is rising exponentially, like without any proper explanation. Like, and the explanation that there apparently is that it's just about the balance between the force. Like, what?
At the very least, give us an explanation that says she's the daughter of the greatest,
She's apparently
lightsaber
not.
wielding Jedi.
She's apparently
Yeah, like at least make it look like that so it makes sense. Like make her Dark Vader's apprentice, something that makes sense.
well.
Like so that she can have all that power.
She apparently is the daughter of an alcoholic and I don't know, narcoman or something.
Well, that explains why she's so talented with swords.
Yeah, definitely. With the power, I mean, in the trailer you can see that in the trailer alone, it's not like it's a scene from the ending of the movie. In the trailer alone, in her first practice probably, she literally ripped a rock probably in half, or made a really huge tear in the rock. Like how? Please.
Yeah, without even touching it with the lightsaber. It's like the wind of the lightsaber
No,
attack cut the rock.
it was supposed to be the force, I guess, but okay, there is a difference between raw power and unfocused power, where you destroy everything around you. There is a thing like, okay, I don't think
Yeah, and there's
when
a
you just
difference
begin with
between
something, you
yeah,
should be able to tear mountains apart. No
yeah, and
matter
there's a
how.
like you said, there's a difference between like I said, there's a difference between good power and controlled power, and a difference between actual progress, like writing and character development, and just retarded script writing. That's the difference that we see here. People don't make proper character development, so they just make her OP as hell for no reason.
And when you look at, there are some people that apparently that say that we didn't see much training from Luke. We didn't? Really? We saw him fail multiple times. I didn't see Ray fail at a practice, not once. Maybe a small lightsaber fail, but Luke didn't manage to force lift plane or jet or whatever that was. He didn't manage to defend against some laser shooting flying ball only after some advice and pointers from his teacher, but it was after receiving some pointers. And it wasn't even
It's like
real. It was like three. He deflected. He protected himself against from three laser shots that just seconds before that he got hit directly, and it apparently was just like a zap from, I don't know, a bug or something. So if you enjoyed it, leave a
yeah,
like, if and maybe subscribe to channels if you want to support them.
yeah. Subscribe to both of us.
And you will the mention videos that I mentioned where I review Assassin's Creed Origins. You can see that on my channel, and also when it comes to the guy Mike Dave, what was his name? Mike Dave Mike, I'm not sure, about the millennial stuff, and that you can see that there too.
Yeah,
And
and check out my channel for gaming and therapy and pretty much charity work on Patreon. So yeah.
just go.
So is that it? We finished the podcast?
Share the video if you want to. I guess that
Okay,
is it.
yeah, I guess that's it.
So I don't know. We just show me the next videos. Bye.
All right. Wait, before you leave, I have